Hello, people of the planet. Welcome back to my channel. This is Port Charles Public Radio, brought to you by Aurora Media. I am your host. My name is Abby. Let's talk about Monday, the first Monday of 2021. Oh, baby. I'm excited. I was looking forward to it. Getting into the new year with Carly. Stealing old ladies, kidnapping old ladies, and drunk Alexis, and mourning, and Portia, and Jordan. Man, Portia wants to steal Curtis, doesn't she? That's why she's always like front and center, talking to each one of them, being so upfront about this and that, because she gonna steal him, and she gonna make sure from the very beginning that she, like, you know, wasn't or something. I don't know. How she wasn't really doing that because she's always so upfront. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited that we came back, you guys. I read online that SAG and AFRA, a lot of contracts are on hold right now. Throughout mid-January or starting in mid-January, they're going to go on hold or going to go on hiatus for a little bit. A lot of California companies, or I just don't know if it's just a lot of programming right now in general. Whoever has contracts open, sorry. It's just this virus, man. It's getting people, and I got so upset online. I posted the picture of the post about how General Hospital's going on hiatus on filming again, but they got enough in the can to like last us through mid-February. I was like, motherfuckers. You guys think this virus is a fucking joke? Wear your masks. Like, step up and stay in. Like, I was so mad on social media. I was so fired up because, like, I work in this industry. My job literally is, like, on hold. The TV show I work on is on hold. So, like, it's a different thing if you're going to take away the TV show that's been my life force for as long as I can remember. Like, this virus took it away earlier, and, you know, there's only so much old episodes you can watch, but I'm going to have to do it. I'm just going to have to watch, like, episodes from, like, 10 years ago, so I feel better about rewatching shit. I've been watching a lot of classic, nostalgic movies. Anyway, how many people are on today? Well, we still have the show. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. People. Is that it? That can't be it. That's not it. Because I didn't write Cyrus down. No. And Alexis is on here. Yeah. But these are all the people. There were 12 people on today. That's it. Carly's kidnapped an old lady. How did I just not see that coming? Laura, how did you not see that coming? She shows up at her house. She tells her everything. And the second she turns around, she says, I need you to listen very carefully. Who she's talking to, we find out in this episode, was Spinelli! As Sonny would say, Spinelli! Like, That's who she called. I need you to find this person in Vermont. This is the Clearwater, whatever the place is called, Clearwater Clinic or something. And schedule a transfer because I'm gonna send some guards and a nurse to go get her. And the nurse that she sent was fucking Bobby. And I was like, of course, because she said Bobby was happy to help. Because this guy put Lulu in a bomb, like sent a bomb out, put her in a coma. And I'm just like, yeah, that is Luke's niece. Like, that's true. Is that the only reason that she's in this? Because like Sonny is missing and like Lulu. I mean, did she like Dev? What is she just doing this for her family? Is she is Bobby a mob bitch too now? Like she's on the other side of the law. She's willing. Fucking Jason said, "You brought Bobby into this. She was happy to help." I'm like, Carly, you're a mob queen, but did you just bring mob Gigi into this too? Like that's what you did. You implicated Bobby. And Cyrus said to her straight up, Sonny would never kidnap an old lady. I'm not Sonny. Carly's face. Stop it. It was so... He was like, why did you do this? We're just going to have to... We need everybody to think I did it. Because they can't think that you did it. Stop. Stop it. I'm very noise sensitive over stupid things. Stupid noise things upset me. The dog licking his paw or licking something obsessively gets me. Not sponsored. I love Topo. There's a whole bubble thing that happens and it's wonderful. My old roommate used to call it spicy water. Kind of. So maybe it's a Texas thing. But I mean people drink LaCroix. Anyway. He said, I'm not Sonny. I can't believe that this is what Carly's instinct was to kidnap this woman. That was her level. Like, he was very upset. They had their meeting. She took the person, and then he found out she took the person. He shows up at their house after and has a second meeting, leaves, meets his sister after she had and now she's going back to the, like, they're just all, there's a whole chip thing. I keep seeing, they're just juggling, going in and out of each other's orbit right now, and on one day, that's a lot. And one day, it's hilarious. I am proud of Carly for doing this, because you're right, Sonny wouldn't have done this, and Jason would have never done this, but now we know. Carly's mob instinct was take the grandmother, take his mother. I get it. Sonny doesn't have a mother for you to, like, understand. And, like, I guess she just isn't gonna, like, put her own mother in the line of, like, well, she could take my mother because Bobby's gonna be missing too. She put her mother, she's just gonna be with her. Her mother's with his mother, taking care of her. I love it. Fucking stupidly brilliant. Great soap shit. I love it. I love it so much. I'm gonna balance it out by talking about something I don't love, and it's Jordan. I love how Portia came in ready to talk to the commissioner, and it was Mac, and she was like, "Oh, commissioner, can I talk to you?" "Oh, Jordan, I didn't know you were working." "Yeah, what do you want to talk to Mac about?" "I'm here." like, straight up called him commissioner because he was acting commissioner, and that's who he is. So she wanted to talk to him about, instead of saying, uh, sorry. I was gonna say, what do you call him? Detective Scorpio? No, it's Commissioner Scorpio or whatever. That's why I drink tofu, to get big old air bubbles out. Just burp them out. She showed up talking to Jordan anyway, about wanting to schedule seeing Taggart before he was released. So Trina could have her peace of mind, I guess, conversation inside versus out in the streets or something, which makes sense. There's like a hair or stuck or something on my nose. But that was dumb, I think, of a reason to come in. But because Jordan said he's gonna be here in police custody for a minute because he falsified evidence. He's fraud of being dead. And he's got some falsifying some evidence charges that he'll have to deal with. And it's just safer for him to be in our custody anyway, so no one comes after him. Girl, you should know that. Just saying. She should know it, but she didn't. And I'm putting on a mermaid tail. Hold on. It's a mermaid tail. And you can put your feet in the two little fin parts if you need to walk around, and it'll give you some walking room. So the conversation was stupid, but Portia still came out and said what she needed to say about talking to Curtis on Christmas Eve, saying he needed to go home to his wife and that she hoped they work things out. And she's like, with all due respect, what happens in our personal life and our marriage and how we work things out is between us. And she's like, yeah, I know. But would it still be is it worth it to hear other people out and other perspective who've maybe been there before? She's like, okay. The way that they handle these two, just it's like a competition, but on equal ground and mutual respect, and a subconscious kind of competition. That's not what it's about, is to compete, but that's what they are, right? Just I guess what's happening with Anna and Jackie and Willow and Sasha. Even though those two are supposed to be friends, they were always kind of really competing, I think. Lulu and Maxie were always competing for a while, if not if not Liz and Maxie. So competition's healthy in General Hospital in Port Charles. Not in General Hospital. No, that's not healthy, because that would be unhealthy to have competition. We want healthy patients with healthy doctors doing things healthy and healthy way. Yeah, healthy. I know I'm super antsy and moving around right now. I'm sorry, guys. Going through an uncomfortable phase in my life. And I also can't see. So I start to get a little crazy because my eyes can't focus. So I can't focus. And start worrying about what I look like. So then I'm like, oh, I'm just not paying attention to anything. And I'm so uncomfortable. My legs hurt. I do this. I jump all the time. Let me just put my mermaid. Anyway, I make fun of myself a lot. Because it's easier. So, because I know you guys are probably like, this girl is bugging. And I'm just letting you know, yeah, I am. I'm aware. Sorry. I wish I could fix it. I'm self-aware. So, Nita and Jax today talking about Jocelyn being in the line of fire, knowing that like she's putting herself at risk, but because she's never really seen it before, the risks that come with this, mob thing. But she does remember at times when it was scary or worrisome, or that they were like on a lockdown. When they were on lockdowns growing up, that her brothers were there for her. So it's like weird that she does remember those lockdowns, but doesn't remember the dangerous side of them because they never really affected her, is what she said to Carly. Because she didn't see anything. She wasn't there when Michael got shot, and she was too young to really experience the trauma of Michael being shot. She knows the trauma of what happened to Morgan, but she also knows that like Morgan was going through some shit, and that she saw a lot of shit that Morgan pulled because of being bipolar. The bomb was just like a bad like mobby thing that happenstance to be there. Bombs are bad. They're kind of like, she says, isn't it weird how our life works sometimes? Yeah, there's a lot of bombs and like death and shit in your life, girl. You have guards. You live behind a fence with like armed guards who arm your driveway. What? She doesn't. It's a little, for Jocelyn, it's weird. And Jax is like, well, I could just take her out of here because that's normal. We've had this agreement her whole life, Carly and I, that something happens, I leave with Jocelyn. And now that something's happened, I want to leave with Jocelyn. And she doesn't want to go because she remembers when she was little, her brothers being there for her during lockdowns. She is now the oldest of little sisters, so she wants to be there for them during lockdowns, even though they're both too young to understand that they are in a lockdown. Part of being around for the danger is, in case any of it happens, she's there to support her two little sisters, i.e. supporting Carly and being there for Carly. And like, she's a headstrong bitch. You can understand that. Stubborn women on both sides is what Jack says. He's like, why can't I just take her? Nina's like, that's a bad idea. Jax, that's a bad idea. What? I don't know why. He's why not? See what I take. It was cute. He tried. Poor thing is freaking the fuck out. I don't blame him. I would be freaking the fuck out too. I really would. I really, really would. It would terrify me. Yeah, we'll see what happens with those guys. Oh man. So, besides that, let's see. I guess we can go backwards before we talk about the best part, in my opinion. Because yes, I did go off about Carly kidnapping an old lady. Like, that is what she did. with her first mob move. She kidnapped an old lady. She kidnapped somebody's mother. She took a sick old lady. Yes, she sure did. Yes, sir. That is not the best part to me. So before we talk about that, let's talk about Laura and Martin. He was so happy to see her. He was like, "Hi, please, take a seat. I know you want to talk to me. Our newfound siblingship. It's good to see you. What do you want? How can I help?" Okay, so you cut right to it. You don't want to just ignore the fact that Cyrus is our brother. I mean, he is, but you don't want to ignore that he's a crime person. You want to get rid of. Okay. And like, Martin didn't like revert, I don't say, in any way. He's very pissed at his brother. He knows what his brother is, but he knows in the eyes of the law he was cleared of all charges. So that is how Martin has to try to see him too. Therefore, to conspire against that idea and to help Laura would go against his belief system as a lawyer, because that's not what he would do as a lawyer, is to try to incriminate anyone, especially his brother. As much as, like, you know, it never went to trial whether or not he was found guilty of his it was just deemed an accident by police. So he's pissed about it. Martin's pissed that it came out an accident, that there was no justice for it. The justice was his brother getting cast aside, or getting cast outside of the family, being shunned, losing his family. You know, they lost a father and a brother that day because of his actions. And it was not their choice, it was his, because the accident was his choice, or something. Whatever the deep dark, whatever. It was a good scene for Martin to, like, flip and be like, because he didn't flip. He, like, it's just relayed differently now to others in a way than it was to Cyrus back in that room. He's like, "Do you know who you don't know who you're talking to? Do you know who you're don't you know who you're talking to?" or whatever, talking to, or whatever he said. It's a different tone for sure. But I liked it. I don't know if it's gonna help him to act that way, but I loved that Cyrus came in and was like, they took her, this is all because of you, because, like, this happened before you, Laura, this is because of you, Laura, isn't it? And her face of shock and horror, she's like, oh, I love her facial expressions when she does shit like that, when she's upset, or when things scare her or worry her. That is what Laura does. She goes, oh. So good. So good. And Martin's just like, our mother, not your mother, our mother. This is so, what? Like, you saw her. She's got to be in poor Martin, man. Poor fucking Martin. And just back in a loop. That's all I have to say about that. Last but not least, my favorite part of all, Ava, Nicholas, and Alexis. Yes, Alexis. This was an Emmy-winning moment, if I ever saw one. She's got other good moments, but this was so good. It was so deep. You know, her tone, just her trance, her stare at you, just like, all right, Ava. It was very deep. That's all I could really think the whole time I was watching it. I was like, God, this is intense. Obviously, she's in a bad state because the bitch hasn't made it home. I'm not keeping track yet, and I really should be at this point. Because I have every episode that she's been in. Because that's what I haven't been writing in here because I don't like to waste paper or lines, space and stuff. So, like, I haven't been writing locations down as I should. But what would be beneficial of that is tracking Alexis's whereabouts. Because, like, how many different places has she gone to at this point? She kind of bounces around. I know we saw her at Chase's because she went to the police station at Chase's. No, not at Chase's, at Finn's. That was a bad Freudian slip. Yeah, Alexis started off running into Finn after the whole incident with the police officer, or with the police giving her the DU and her going, yes, She got the news about Julian and left the police station alone. Who knows where she went? But next we saw, and that was Christmas Eve. And Molly kicked her out. That's right, Molly kicked her out. She got the news then. Between then, don't know what happened to her, but we do know she showed up to Finn at the park with a cut on her arm that needed stitches, so they took her to the hospital. She wouldn't let him take her home. She didn't want to go home. So they called Ned. She wouldn't let Ned take her home either. Don't know where she went. I can't remember where she went after that, but now here she is at the bar. Obviously still fucked up. Nope, not being called a cab. That's all I can remember. I don't know if we ran into her anywhere else. I'm trying. But I wanted her to say something about this being a family trait of the Cassadites where they fall in love. She didn't. She just kind of said watching history repeat itself over and over again, that they fall passionately in love and then they fight each other to the death. Because that only happened really with her. Did that happen with anybody else? Did that happen with Helena and her husband? Did that happen with Alexis's father? I mean, is that where is she getting that from? What is her? She didn't make that point to Nicholas of you know what I'm talking about. Look at Mikos. Look at Helena. Look at Stavros and his love. Look at Tracy and Luke. Look at anybody. She didn't give any examples of what she was talking. You know, I was hoping it would go down a spiral of look at Valentina and Nina, and Nick would say, yeah, well, he's not really a Cassadine. Yeah, he is. And then we would have to have a whole thing about that where she accidentally blabs to Ava and Nicholas, who now know the truth. But that's not what we have. So, whatever. Dude, if you guys have stuck with me this long, thanks for sticking. I know I talked a lot, but I was super bugging about the fact that Carly stole an old lady. She just straight up took that. She stole that woman. She stole a person. This bitch. The audacity. So if you stuck with me this long, thanks for sticking. It's been a great Monday. I can't wait to talk about this again soon. I got nothing else to do, so peace to the planet. Tip your waitresses.